Hello everyone, Impiator here. Welcome back to my newcomer's guide for Elden Ring. This is part 18. So, welcome to the Shadow of the Erd Tree expansion. They've gifted us the Ring of Mikola in prep for its release tonight. I'm so looking forward to it. I am going to be doing some videos, by the way, for the channel, but be aware, we're nowhere near that point in the walkthrough. We are way off of being ready for that content. Anyway, what we're going to be doing in this episode is kind of continuing where we left off. So, in the last episode, we ended up starting at the Stillwater Cave, working our way along the east side, gathering up various graces, and then we finally made it to the Black Knife Catacombs, where we progressed the story of Fia, Roger, and Dee. And in this episode, we're going to also start from there, though we're also going to complete it this time. And we're going to go along the West Bank section here. And then we're going to wrap up basically over in the village of the Albinaurics area. Albinaurics? I can't remember how to say it. Either way, before we do that, we want to make sure that we have progressed Nefeli's quest line. So we're going to come over here and talk to her, make sure that she has repeated herself. We're going to head over to Grace, and then we can verify that she has actually left. Okay, she has. So that will progress her quest. We're going to end up seeing her a little bit later in this episode. For now, though, let's go ahead and travel to the Stillwater Cave. And let's go ahead and make this simple for us. Oh, you know what? I just realized. We still have Maldic's Blessing. It's not really a blessing at all. Alright, so we got what we want. We're going to go ahead and head in here. This place is divided up into kind of two sections, a lower section and upper section. I like to do the lower section first, just to collect some of the items, collect some more crafting items while we're here too. I don't recommend bothering with the enemies other than these guys. I usually do go after these guys. But don't bother with the Miranda plants. They are not susceptible to magic damage, and they take a whole mess of hits to kill for very little. So don't waste your time. Worth mentioning, by the way, rolling in the poison actually makes the poison worse, so I am telling you to follow what I preach, not what I practice. Alright, so this is going to be a boss known as the Clean Rot Knight. It can block your attacks, and then it'll typically respond with holy damage. It also will do a stab attack. Sometimes it uses a thrust attack to do the stab attack, which also inflicts holy damage. And if it does that attack, it'll also hit you with Scarlet Rot, which is a really nasty type of poison. So we want to try to avoid that if we can. You can summon in this fight, of course, as well. Otherwise, though, you're going to be doing a lot of dodges out of the way of his swings if you do it that way. Otherwise, try to stay away from him if you can. Especially that stab attack. And he does it a lot of times right off the bat. So that will cast stuff in front of him. There's the attack. And he hit me with it. Shoot. So you can see how fast my health is going down. Get ourselves a little bit of help with this. So, as you can see, they make this process pretty easy. Anyway, let me go ahead and go back to the race so we can get this Scarlet Rot stuff off of us. Then we'll talk about the item that we just picked up. Okay, that's better. So, what we ended up picking up was the Winged Sword Insignia. This actually works really well for weapon combos like 2 daggers, for example. Basically anything that does lots of very fast hits, because each successive hit will increase the damage after a few hits. So, like 2 or 3 hits, that'll increase. And it can do that by up to 15%. So, that can be a big chunk of extra damage. So, I'm actually going to go ahead and equip that. Otherwise, let's go ahead and head into here. This is also a really good place to farm for cave moss. So if that's something you need to farm for, make a note of that here. Along the upper side, though, there are some more bats. There's also some more of these guys while you're here, too. So we're going to head down this path. I recommend being quiet. So this one is a real pain in the butt. He's one of the ones that does the kind of noise out in the wild. Otherwise, you'll get a golden rune. Get another golden rune back here, too. And then we have the sage set right here. So now we're going to work our way back. Head along the left-hand side here. More bats. Alright, see if I can teleport. I cannot. So I'm going to go ahead and just run to the end. Not worry about the enemies that are here. Alright, let's go ahead and grab the grace so that we can get this stuff off of us. And then we're going to work our way out of this place, kind of looking along the left for a spirit spring, which we're going to use to climb up. So stay along kind of the beach area here. And we'll eventually see one. That up there, by the way, the item is a sacrificial twig. We'll be picking that up after we kill the boss that we're going after next. So over here we got an Everjail. So this has Aiden, Thief of Fire. Now, he basically has this couple different fire attacks. He has one that he'll basically just push out fire in front of you, and if you're not careful, he can actually stun lock you with that and basically just kill you. So stay away from him when he's starting to do fire attacks. He'll also do this globe fire, which is the Flame of the Fell God, and he'll throw that at you as well. And it's very slow. It actually works really well against enemies with low poise. So could be used potentially against some of the bosses later in the game, because we're actually going to get that ability after we kill him. So other than that, he has a flail and he does bleed damage. He's got this funny attack where he'll kind of swing his weapon left and right, and whenever he does that, he usually won't roll. He otherwise will roll a lot whenever you try to hit him with things like magic, for example. So just try to stay away from him as much as you can. Roll away from him, do a hit there. Roll away from him, do another hit there. He does have the ability to heal once. That's the attack you want to be on the lookout for. He can spam that over and over and over. Real pain. There he goes. See, he's about to try to hit me with that a few times. And there he goes. Alright, so heading further south, we're going to pick up this sacrificial twig. And then we're actually going to head back up using the Spirit Spring again. This time we're going to head north along the path. So eventually you're going to run out of road. We're going to kind of make a little left into here, and then a right into out here. And you're going to see a little camp out here. You can kill the enemies in the camp if you want, but I'm just going to pick up the item that's in here. And this is going to be the Fire Monk's Prayer Book. So, get in, grab it, leave. Then we're going to turn around and head along the shore here. And we're going to be looking for a cave off to our right. There it is. So this is the Lakeside Crystal Cave. So I got an arterial leaf here. Now this enemy down at the bottom of this, the boss here, is actually an enemy very similar to Darrowil, the Bloodhound Fang enemy. This is actually a Bloodhound Knight. I'm going to show you first basically the way to get down here really quick. So if you want to get basically right to the boss, you can basically follow my path down. What we want to do is we want to jump onto that platform that has the guy hanging over it. Take a little bit of damage, but this takes us basically down to the very bottom of the place very quickly without having to deal with really any of the enemies, except the ones that are down here. Now, these enemies, you want to kill them while you're down here. Even if you die, kill them each time, because these guys can actually fire through the portal leading to the boss, which is going to pop up once we walk through that door right there. And you really do want help with this boss, because otherwise if you don't kill these enemies here, your summons will actually be inundated by the attention grabbing of these attacks that they're going to get from these guys. Incredibly irritating. Otherwise, I recommend summoning. If you're going to fight this without a summon, then I would probably go shield. And then do a guard counter. And remember the bleed damage. You do have some bleed boluses you can use. Otherwise, be really careful about his bleed damage. Otherwise, he is like a glass cannon. He doesn't take much to kill at all. So we're ready to get the Cerulean Amber Medallion. This is going to boost our maximum FP. And then we're going to head outside. So this is Latana.
I told the old that I possess, or have you caused my other half?
She's not very happy. Apparently something has happened to her wolf.
I possess, or have you caused my other half?
So we're going to go ahead and head back to the Lakeside Crystal Cave. And we're going to go ahead and complete the rest of this area now. But that is a very quick way to get down to the boss, because there are quite a few of these demi-human enemies up here. So if you're having struggles with them, feel free to do this. Now, I might recognize this enemy off to the right-hand side here. This is actually an enemy that we've fought before. This used to be a boss, or at least one half of a boss. So this is the Spear Talisman. This is actually good for thrusting weapons. Basically is used in order to increase damage output done to enemies that are in the middle of attacking. So you're basically doing like a counterattack against them. It also works for bows, but again, as well as crossbows, but again, you have to interrupt the enemy's attacks. Otherwise, though, we're going to come back up here. And we actually have to drop off here now. So drop here. Drop here. Drop here. This time we're going to drop down here. Go around. So there are quite a few of these enemies over here. So I've got some throwing daggers. And here there are more of them. And then we got a golden rune, and then that's going to take us down to the boss area. So that's basically going to complete it. That's all the items. Let's go ahead and leave it. And then we're going to continue north. So our goals now are going to be to investigate this island. We're going to go here as well. Then we're going to go back to Raya the Scout, because we're going to have her necklace at that point. Then we're going to head west over to here. Pick up a couple items that are around this area here before we head into the village of the Albinaurics. So on this island, we're going to find a dexterity not crystal tier. So pick that up, kill the enemies if you want. Then we're going to head towards number 2. This is actually going to be the boiled prawn shack. This has the guy that took the necklace from Raya.
What are you trying to start?
So go ahead and tell him to give you the necklace.
You're first.
We'll agree to pay for it. It's only 1,000.
All right. Things know your bloody idea. Oh. All right then. I could be.
And then if you want to, you can buy prawn from him. So boost physical damage negation.
Oh. All right. Well,
Otherwise, we'll ask about Raya.
Lucky she ain't died.
And now we're going to head towards Raya the Scout. We're to give her the necklace. And this is going to get us an invitation to Volcano Manor. By the way, at nighttime, stay away from this little thing here. It's actually where the death bird's going to spawn.
Please. Oh, thank you, kind. Did I forget? I seek you ever to steady such. Please. Rain most time. You are a volcano. Oh, this land, but the live instead at the base. It was I have faith. I do hope. At the base, it was. I have faith.
So she'll give us some details on how to get there. Otherwise, though, we are now heading to this location. So I'll head back to the boiled prawn shack. So that'll get us a grace. Then we're going to head south of here. Towards this tree. That's going to give us a rune. Then we're going to head around here. Worth mentioning, this is a plateau that we are on, or that we are underneath. So you'll be able to basically kind of get up to that area a little bit later. But otherwise, we're going to be in a village underneath this. So we are looking for around this area. There we go. Alright, so Vow of the Indomitable. Next, we're going to actually head west of the location. I'm trying to remember, but I think there's another shard out here. May have been just that. Golden Rune. I thought I'd marked a upgrade material out this way, but oh well. Anyway, now we're going to head to the village of the Albinaurics. We're basically heading to kind of this little area here. Remember, though, that we were looking on the map at basically the top of the plateau, so we're not heading to the top of the plateau, we're heading underneath it. So the land markers are not going to be an exact replica, obviously. So once you see the people suspended up there, you're basically at the village. And here we've got Nepheli.
Oh, well, I witnessed the oppression of our waking. Put under the justice, let the scars.
So progress her dialogue until she repeats herself, and we're going to be able to summon her for this next boss fight. So there's a whole bunch of these enemy types out here. Kill them if you want. I don't give a whole lot of runes, but we get ourselves a larval tier. That's going to be a material to allow us to respec later. We have to complete the Rhea Academy, though. Rhea Lucaria Academy, in order to do that. So this guy up here is actually pretty dangerous. Especially his magic if you get in front of him, so we're going to attack him from behind with a sneak attack. That'll do most of his health. As long as you're not near him when he starts to do that attack, you should be fine. Then you're going to hear some noises coming from over here.
Please, no. Dear me. No secrets lie with me, not a one. Oh, please leave me be. Wait then. Well. Oh, aye, we're finished. The cursemongers, I beg you. You must keep...
So he wants you to take this Hallowed Tree secret medallion over to Latenna. So that's actually why we went to see her first. So talk to him again, and unfortunately he is going to pass on.
Alas.
So anyway, go ahead and grab the item that's over here. This is the ivory sickle, a weapon. And actually, we're going to go across that bridge first, because there is a crystal sword over here as well. So head over here first, or after. Either's fine. In my opinion, not particularly special, but you know, we're trying to play Collectathon here. Alright, so we're about to be facing off against a boss that some of you who played Dark Souls 1 might recognize, because this boss is modeled after the Capra Demon. So this is going to be the Omen Killer. We are going to get the help of Nefeli, though, with this fight. This fight can be pretty bad if you don't have help. But we can also summon, too, while we're in this fight as well. And I'm all for making your life easier. So here is the summon pad for Nefeli. So this boss does bleed damage. He has pretty low poise, so it's a good idea to do jump attacks and hit him over the head. I'll probably switch over for that. Otherwise, just stay away from his attacks. He has very similar attacks to the way that a Capra Demon works. So he'll do lunge attacks. You can roll through those attacks. Otherwise, just try to keep on his back if you can. So you can see how we are interrupting his ability to attack. Yeah, we're great with jump attacks. And that is going to do it. We're going to get the Crucible Knot Talisman. So reduces damage and impact of headshots. Not super useful, I don't think, but that is a thing. So with that, that's going to basically wrap us out more or less for this episode. Let's go ahead and travel, though, over to Latenna. And we're going to complete her story before we wrap up this episode.
I told it I possess or help you was my other.
So show her the medallion.
Then I've no to let's try. My apology. I presume. I hope that. Would you consent?
So what's going to happen is she's actually going to become a spirit ash.
Thank you. They say in castle. Then farewell.
So talk to her until she fades. And she'll become a legendary spirit ash for us.
When needed. And I will fight at your side.
That does not actually complete her quest, though. Later, we will be able to complete her quest. For now, though, that's going to wrap it for this episode, everybody. In the next episode, we're going to kind of continue working along with kind of the left or west and the eastern sides of Lower Liurnia before we start making our way to kind of the northern items. Once we do that, we'll basically circle back around for the Raya Lucaria area. So I'm expecting another 2 or 3 episodes in this area before we tackle Raya Lucaria Academy. But until then, thank you everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Later.